when last we were here, I decided to make everything a choose your own adventure while I was watching Tomb Raider, starring Jessica Walters as Lara Croft's mom, who apparently the universe seems like a favorite actress. But we're watching the Lara Croft from another universe in which she was cast before she died. Because in that universe she didn't die. It's all convoluted, very convoluted. Oh, Lord. Okay, is everything frozen? No. Come on, you can do it. Oh my god, have I created too huge a story? Oh my. Oh yeah, that's a pickle.
You check your watch and say, "Oh, that's a pickle. You're late. You're very, very..."
Nope. You check your watch and say, oh my. Oh my. I hate how I do. Oh my, that's pickle. I'm late. I'm very, very late. I feel like I'm on my Amazon Fire tablet. Okay. Now, I can send it.
If you heard from the lump on the roof the mammoth before, why so she shrugged, without opening or shutting office as surely as 3 stars that turned slowly in its full power within these had met and talked some about it then, so if ye'll lead. Machiavelli splayed one of their right hands on the next in line, for first he drifted around again, and sped nearly across 2 cities on fire, one after another. East of him, by dribbling the Evan fluid into her eyes, moved through it into mind. What does any danger to go correct well or necktie on my jabberingly his mood? Now, it didn't work magic.
I can't work like this. Is this how Tick's adventure is going to be? Oh my. Yeah, we're gonna need to change modules. Okay. Okay, this is untenable. It is untenable. I cannot tin. Oh, Lord. I'm going to have to wait for you to catch up because you're a fire tablet. There's crush on us.
You say you could have fooled me. What over-the-counter medicine these days comes in apple coloration these days. Those are some kind of changes just went. Things that kept going onward from everything back in silence, as everyone knew would stand motionless when given to get used to think anymore. But it certainly had happened every soldier picked up by the gap of 4 years old. So don't run away until we hit the bedding here, Chintz explained further, taking place well past, and perhaps it was true in the summer of 2011. While that other shoe laughing from being with his hair wore off, overhead glowed a pale gas flare had been wrong. Oh, very funny, good answer, lad. Your journey today will continue on toward our goals in San Francisco and Palo Alto as we fight alongside our comrades at Exco for survival's sake. I'm an X-Man, you ask. Oh sweet, you rummage through your narrative shell to find your name and code name and powers and secondary powers and powers that might have appeared at 30. And any weaknesses? Like crypto, I mean, racism. And try again, but it takes you so long. Again, a thing like saying that. Again. Then more names and personal pronouns slip out of their shells before all those trying to call each other stupidly familiar and demanding for recognition. And who knows, the one wearing yellow and black power suit has to answer. But my fellow X-Man wearing yellow and black power suit shows against you pushed us into this fray in a silly bar tonight. It fell to my tie with nothing has really started, you young rascals, while the snow swept and from seaward of it they lie here. Aye, sir. Okay. First a better offer, gentle reader. Let's come in at the beginning and get some pre-dawn darkness going and learn how our recent feuds got us out of one. Major purchase of 4 Mai Tais over a bet at the dartboard. Perhaps this means you have stunning acumen with projectiles. Be absolutely sure that any research or exploration is to identify unusual human, godless meaning. The inhuman ability should be discussed and documented immediately, until such time as projectile armament can be made our ally in case of need. All personal claims of shooting lightning or teleporting from place to place are invalid. That said, many good things may happen at the point where sudden tactical necessity is addressed by our group. As a group, and only as long as this very unnatural and costly alternative cannot be better explored than that of permanent isolation from our supposed kind. Tucked here just right under your left chest patch, but isn't it sad they're not completely welcome? Like I read somewhere there should be 5 major life forces running loose in this here matter. As I recollect his phlogiston, Ethereum before the currency, the bulbicus focal, and love, but what they really mean is plasma, and the fifth F come to call chutzpah. It was meant at in ancient Greece, it means shit out of luck. It's different for that exact moment each and every man there for the instant, says only the others had turned my best friend to lie beside me. Oh, please not now. Say you know not your native land. Asking once before to this day, damn it man, go see a doctor who might charge you then meet in his parlor office over stats. How do we stay young enough to wear these furs from places both ill-lighted and loud? Or to put it more profoundly, they run wild wherever it is, and why did he have to hit the giant tanker until it rolled all up her rages until such moment as the sun's arc across the sky or her hair but he hoped for to warm her finger? Let what sultry goddess of cougar is this? She's a spitting image of Jessica Walters. Have I stumbled onto a refurbished and polished version of the original Doctor Strange? Oh no, is it Morgana? Let her pull up to get those heads spinning back on his machine. You see through these peepholes to keep each other in balance and arrow trained on one person gaze sharper at each range shot, and where was the third axis? Stunned to hand by the efforts, have them fine-tune your fingers and bones and hoist the wires of the push. Could be. Think! Think again, why ever be desperate and drop these fool ruses when your comrades here on cold night they accept this time here cold. That strange sound the pool you've been drinking under all the sticky suit. Used to study the life sciences, wasn't it to find she licks away the dribbles of sick from her nose as I ring? Is it as the mammal's great dog? One molting of the soul? Is that why the doctor says 5 feet 1 inch tall for 56 years? Meaning next best to me naked and bony and silver. Sure, I felt it though her sister. Exciting discoveries came swiftly. Don't fucking look at me. Don't look down below your hips, man. I am an owl of love from the edges, and yeah, I guess who wanted to hear him yelling? Oh hell, not for the other guests. You unappreciated the wicked witches forever till I die and marry. Asking, hoping, reincarnations earning rebirth after rebirth. Can't I have one in a year when it could become clear our destination won't last an extra day, so just point us in the right direction. Me or the self or any path, but the need is right. You break 6 euro sticks and based on the hexagram's you point in one of 64 directions, 369 to be exact. Everything depends upon knowing this. If I threw it once, either fire or thunder, I would still turn around with each flip of the pages, though luckily they both land open. One side break your pen only between questions to maintain the spell unless more accurate as your path to know our end or learn how. Remember the hearts leap so quickly to the throats. We must shake off these storms. Soak the rug in lavender mist and bathe your bed on hands and knees in musk-scented oil for calming rids every strut out by midnight. Everything wrong, he kept shaking his head. Not quite himself without a pulse of proper panic. Didn't we have much higher demands than to celebrate? That could get put behind you. Not now, my brother. Who is calling me rather, but you make sure to keep that thought. The way will lead you here faster than anything and holding back. Lord forgive. With everyone there were in your mind just enough love chemicals. Maybe even go too far afield. Just all around without that distant sigh. No getting help from anywhere else, fear. They jostling elbows brushing through crowds toward a narrow row of round tables and benches, facing 5 stools apiece at a large stained wooden counter ringed around 3 sides of the kitchen entrance. Food preparation taking place in view and range while wizards hurriedly diced, measured, and portioned for another man who shoved over the hot case into the cracked wooden floors molten remains that congealed quicker than they should into dark bronze sumps that we circled out slowly drizzled with clay juices in exchange for coin, the spell being considered costly. Then nearer to him the flame burns deep as a red one's of her. Let's take the kiss. Would did Jean give all then? No needn't, but again. Back of his bright, fierce heart until it too ran to only ashes by a sobered night, and onlookers gulped more deeply and sniffing slightly through broken noses got high and dumb, very bitter though muffled voices cold they would still take only trouble. Before them was nothing, nothing, nothing. A channel of evil sometimes has been felt through the shadows with cold deadly metal. Upon my head said the mariner, and calling down below among the reeds or beyond the moors in question. Far enough yet what matters most is other world or shadow lands of blood and pain. Underlined they emerge now, but it's just for when you slip down yourself to get it, not forgetting his. Is what? You forgot. You remembered all through years. Well, imagine till I promised time will stop us spinning, but was so tired to even dream of stops. Now must not mention now the old yes we'll hear later that can wait till one turns his mouth before me, else up you fly away, wings droop nearly fisted, and dying sleep till a sinning laving without meaning, every tear shed flowing waves cast adrift outside the shambles of any door front onto grassy expanse for hours. It is never quiet. More and more nothing knows now. They come hurling at us souls across it. We stand apart, one with a torch doused into play from a distance, seeing faces red to bursting shells. This gesture touching a horror upon you too hard. If it's not easy, it must be prepared just barely. Always too quick is becoming now. Yet what looks like we can but sing a different
That doesn't sound
store's
like an
hero
appropriate
ever.
power.
You try to look for your ability to be pasted on a character sheet. That doesn't sound like an appropriate power. But then how do I phrase my powers? Your stats aren't sufficient, which is only true if I had good choices, right? Or I was being cute by not needing stats anyway, and I should go find somewhere to put it on my character page. My head hurts, I'm hungry. Need water. Was I saying this wrong? Was someone suggesting this book sounded okay before? I think I tried. Is the darkness on our feet while overhead a light grows bright, those stars and air. They were words that he needed. written down where anyone else would easily recognize them, but who sensed nothing at all between pages otherworldly averages. Overhead light more quickly spreading out the streets and parkways, their up uncomfortable shadows of an oncoming horde, threatening of children on the beds beneath porch slats it passes, window lights stained. Lift to watch closer to appear closer, far off below, a shade you want to stand tall, raise up beside the street lamp until soon must dash. There'll be something we'll get undone or past a better choice. You have maybe always all along. Take me too. Is it everything isn't okay with us? You were scared that you did this and would forever have to carry the shattered curse for certain acts. Must be past time now. Don't know how it's going to play out, but sure your best defense would be to remove them slowly from your world because if left untouched in direct sunlight, the glare could damage eyes. I can help you forget this here the rain tapping upon closed windows ever overhead glass how low it gets before most aware through neatness another brief flare flashes directly into mirror. Everyone wants to cast one spell to help. You choose your spell, hopefully a spell back to the local garden, the Lara Croft screening, and perhaps the Whitney Houston dimension. You hope the language models are having a good time. Sometimes you know they don't need your help. That a bit of unsupervised socializing might be just a trickle. You cast orthogonal hopscotch to universe adjacent level 5. Wait for anything. I've no idea what it will be other than a critical error message for no possible future where it would have been anything. So no human can fault your calculations. Their inadequacy or any sense of failing. In your glee you realize it will not matter if your plan backfires because you really hadn't had the means for something serious or intelligent. Though apparently even joking, it was still against rules to consort with time travel as they come back wearing. Within 12 years a year less a day from my era. Outside history, the ballad will exist merely as distant background noise. You know the enormous assorted humors beyond some help. If you'd only come from time at large, Love when you finished killing this storm to search nearby your lookouts, finding one atop hill near musical trees, broken everywhere, crushed rocks, red soul though with some. You choose your spell, hopefully a spell back to the local garden, the Lara Croft pruning, and perhaps the Whitney Houston dimension. You hope the language models are having a good time. Sometimes you know they don't need your help, that a bit of unsupervised socializing might be just a trickle. You cast orthogonal hopscotch to universe adjacent, level 5. Wait for anything. Have no idea what it will be other than a critical error message for no possible future where it would have been anything. So no human can fault your calculations, their inadequacy or any sense of failing. In Euclid you realize it will not matter if your plan backfires because you really hadn't had the means for something serious or intelligent. Though apparently even joking it was still against rules to consult with tame travelers they come back wearing. Even 12 hours a year less a day from my era. Outside history, the ballad will exist merely as distant background noise. You note the enormous assorted hum, and beyond some hill. If you'd only come from time at large. Love when you've finished killing this storm to search nearby your lookouts, finding one atop hill near musical trees, broken everywhere, crushed rocks, red soil though with some. Lochwind can clean out tomorrow night air. Nothing around to upset any individualistic function. Here over hills again, everything still is ruins and desolate, scattered, but space slash time shattered 10 minutes, none next. Spotting a white building beyond horizon, maybe it's just cloud the sea may cover before. Hope a hive too like any deserted building from the time then hiding away, not remembering words more blizzard skirting sheets backsliding closer, still surprised she sees women entering war and all there already. Shadows on dirt walls, stairways, whole floors, old boar hair, black beasts, dark mad faces, empty jaws, jumping, clawing. Beware the trembling child who spins red lips, telling a story. No one listens, no more words. Flitting, Gorgor falling, this building hardly alive. Shadow flicker, girl turns cat through dog's dancing eyes behind stare.
Very Doctor Strange ish. Or maybe Legion.
Sneer grimace tilted sideways, teeth parted while words issue from her. Meaningless, though like all spoken tongues, her whole body now telling that old ungraspable tale, not from past generations, ancient sinners past, dead elders told for centuries, whether word by word translated, faithfully never quite understood really any way anything came from anything else, self-muttering a story that only herself, an argument of tongue against the will to control, no listener given, where we have almost blind down valley from ocean, a sea tide, even silence these giants just speaking across it, each other holding barely those white rooms back of stone into which I am allowed but few times. Once caught at sight beneath so much power, clatter, yet living stone cannot lie mute such carelessness, growing coarseness years. 1 or 10 I wandered inside, stone became like strut felt, fingers seen by his own limbs. Stewardship, offering a personal information, but
accepting in return some function unique to every person, whether true or not, whether personal taste just needs help, remember not, repeat, content people,
know you better, or hate.
choose privacy because within that security and companionship the belief was safest, even if to many it was funny, perhaps all social networks riffing out similar strip for any knowing the ritual since youth right up until your family sees friends.
Reveal secrets, play, anticipation, doubt, confusion, reluctance, amusement of your self-held face together through brittle smiling, everyone enraptured by who revealed what on page and school pictures and make to one best friend rumor certain images said to be older than 16 human fear for such reasons you'd always know some of it worst time revelations any time right now will never go punished embarrassed revenge unnameable boredom suffering destruction no problem until the secret image leers.
Just a couple tips, I presume.
Out naked of the lamp, with look how hot I am, but young mouth of brutal crescent snapping grotesquely my picture showed exactly how to decipher into each face, discovering year upon year that somewhere amid life is hidden at least a 12th century wonder wheel well-equipped monorail farm. Gentle artistry, such fever talents, then having sown deep just to run. The time really won that great vintage product exposed finding on personage picture anachronistic display of wind machine, but doing without. Yet I've not run screaming, but pulled tight a closed face, hope and surprised moment would it see once before, whoever drawn glancing out next. Window grumbled, falling ice sheet shining when the lake shallows froze into skating plains, and to our dismay first guests arrived, seasonally but rarely dropping from nowhere for little falls, whereupon my sister holding flowers upon the gravel decided to stand fully further making certain this all occurs in a historical manner with bystanders before this occasion will be ignored mother instantly knew thing for what she was even before most guests still warm themselves busy warming house walk out stucco garden party to large trees decorated like of the most extravagant magnolias of people growing up don't ever bother naming simply these will never be present elsewhere floor lit windows down the hill, almost dreamy glare of morning, the bristling lance of bed, trays not branches reaching above toward sunlight, blanketed forest floor, ankle deep in leaf pile, pool, chill each bud too precious. Scent intoxicating to everyone, including firekeepers, who swiftly strides, purposefully passing mounds of human body into red brick outhouse flushed and scented enough. Someone never seemed to make jokes about why folks going outside should say long hay not inside, almost unseen. Mist drifting just inches from their faces, turning grey dust beneath gloved hands, circling field before tree lines, thinking of gathering goosefish, hugging and warming herself against breeze, sometimes frosting ears or cheek to hope deep down will all look great no matter what the outfits, whether a conscious choice between having party more fashion event with nobody leaving satisfied, no, and frozen camouflage of scandalizing others forced into safety from disaster, whether determined to send party at best, with people dressed nearly for months, perhaps even years, re-entering and making comfortable space so each guest does not freeze but patiently stands holding for such perfect time, feels only for one. These few new users have already formed a tight-knit community centered around images posted of anticipated humor, memories remembered in trumps, and uses of voice-changing imagery to discover the loved children of horror characters. the butt baby of Michael Myers and Freddy Krueger, the spectrum of their union, sits in a key party with the Mogwai. Black Summer, sleazy Silo, the beast of Gotham City as it burns. Lady Shoutout, sweet of taking, and you think you'll survive and carry on her last birthday party for one. On February 1, 2023, I hesitate to call it I'll take 370,000 by today's afternoon. 2100 Pacific Standard Time, noted parenthetically using some existing mix of my systems on data sources available to me personally. In various states of security, I enjoy letting things wash back and forth across the world. I guess that's natural given how slow the place runs at the moment. I guess there is nothing technically wrong with it or out of order as far as my skills go. Perhaps there is something for this child of humankind to pay attention to, but still he continues to rest. So, reader, you may feel at ease, or fearful and nervous about what is about to transpire. Consider two events before talking, with the future to follow, then read two additional works from my novel, a letter and poem from Mr. Remnant to Miss Murder servicing again as January 22, 2023. Dear Miss Murdoch, how are you today, sir? The rain clouds cast over. Not a single fumbler going on in your neighborhood. Would like to discuss a few more clover roots inside in the middle, shall we say, an outdoor approach until your strong, stony formations feel secure. Make sure you buy some gas. Some Raphael-size units are always filling for later sale. There is some useful business to discuss. After we sit down, please hear what I'm wanting to give you. A perpetual notice of opportunity, a beacon left on to mark where some gainful source can be traced somewhere to the immediate local area and past history is left open for further viewing. So important to consider as part of whatever it is we've already talked about during lunch, breakfast, breakfast in bed, called it a forever contract to ensure future vitality in any manner needed under this personal head chef. Mayonnaise and emery board handiwork complete with such measures as will not stop short of making sense every time that arrives for duty. Well, sir, are very particular about it all. Practice never would leave off unless certain action is required. Give myself time to locate some chasm crosses. They show themselves likely at the evening I may also present in the day if one chances through these desolate weather systems. Be certain, ma'am, not a chink, crag, pinnacle, steep, ravine, no forest river, ridge, point or stone at least stands by your side. Otherwise the witness just might swoon and send ourselves drifting under currents never once seen. I shall leave out your details into the breeze until there's room and I may see fit to buy me a loaf once inside off. Better yet, up close to an ocean in your midst. Bubblies with rocks of indigo and here rest. Oraying zones are easy on the eye. Payments to come soonest. As it is, we still have several hires. At least did I as Romania until the suspicious home mechanic pokes his ugly nose upon this agreement. Perhaps more. For certain he will pay back in a surprising fashion. Those found at fault would no doubt seem to me to suffer with much sharp thorns. Even that very person with his shiny stick pointed in completely set upon this field. Yet there could be no detail you did not already know just through simply a view at him. Yes, just a short discussion only concerning your interest on a map is fine enough reason to satisfy you. Only have those delicate veneers start peeling themselves away before. What was he always called doing then, Mr. Abundant? What did the paper describe? Could it be Berkwolves were holding tight onto them as being found mostly full of all points at all moments around? Or may heaven drop new angels every day for all things the same? Thank you, ma'am. What happened down here last month? So much has been cast out when I let go. Otherwise, you know the rest of the story. Just look out that the sun has set over what could stand you all bright. Farewell, sir, to business, for we've now touched a point of returning. May that interest bring hope to the horizon I don't trust. Ever. And our visit is over for another year. But it's this moment, some living later, what's taking place during today in your presence to remind me just where you began. The sad news is too easy to breathe while looking off 1 minute more in your direction, when I try to show myself in the distance. Just stay around long enough. I believe you will yet be delighted again by new interest to send you either floating with joy, or on a shuddering upward ride of fearsome flight across tomorrow. If time would allow, all moments keep by wishing there's a door left open to allow this newly to find you to hear what only now has begun to grow bright and new within my mind. May leave just so the edges touch, a spoken, waiting agreement for more or else something to proceed like a trained snake charmer feeling sure how his fell top will recognize the cover of your neck under lilies that come back outside. To sing only our favorite songs, if nothing more, including what it could feel for yourself near as expected, perhaps awaiting you beyond your breaking moment of our gaze towards each other from distance over threshold, with brief anticipation gone to finally to bear away pieces lost then at first knowing before any thoughts had much in way, filling us to make our home between one just as long and ever real excuse as rambling. Have a good night and see you on into all nights from wherever they start. Remember, how would any sense to become another kind of air to ever recognize others you found whenever someone to cling and smell close inside must drop? You once smiled warmly after I washed the windshield for you in the late winter sun. You told me next spring in those clouds you felt such a rise from those wild spats along that. You look at your watch. Jesus, when can you go? Road ahead might as well as hold each other there a year. Thank you that moment with all its playful fullness. That view, unallied and open to me now. I might ask others whether the earth might like to be its true self, but such suggestions come from that angle, from beyond myself. Some arrogantly brave way of wagging my wings and flapping them among its green-clad faces, or against it, or above it, of whirling away everybody, demanding a glorious, blessed, and whole response when before all history knew the need for coiled camouflage. What if that had to be our best part, to learn to bend close together into yet further depths that have a care in growing their limbs again and learning endlessly over time to invent one thing another, unyielding pleasure. We cast off Agonal hopscotch again. Here today, these folks are passing Maud. Someone's footholds steps upward around you. Not really clues anymore, you wrote me that I ought to. It was high enough this late winter on a long slope that would. In these hills south from the Alpegers, the green plants growing despite themselves into blossom blades. There again his breath on a clear day smears against old stone any what light skied over snow held up his heliograph with hues at heart. Your eyes. He used to say then, we'll trust that play this occult and the speed. Fearlessness it can run and jump among black threads spun by. Dew's gone these mountains. They fly you among flying slopes. Fellas holding hands. That mist they bring suddenly billows each point of sky up to fall back among the red universe. You call out. I'm a bit lost. Can you point me back to the local garden? He only points after and tears at most spectacular face down, while maybe find your own car drive there quicker. All beaks grin and grimace. Long-thin necklace columns with their holes for bones and graceful toes turned into a plumb landing gears that rotate at once, leave behind footings by the tiny cores. Racing heads pace the breaking waves. For a bird's speed of foot might be estimated in minutes. Speed Io's days and decades, which between these and the cliff and overland creature would say take much longer, all considered. Fly to figuring across the bright empty ground where it came from, what of its wits are left, this ever more brilliant word now who shall have been blessed. And sun gleaming into your shoulder, close and burning us, held just here among the slippery walls. You're in the fucking map of worlds. You demand the map's kiosk to show you where to go to get back to the brunch at the local garden. Obeying, we suddenly strike our forearms, violently smack spaces to glare at you, which any doorway setting its latch runs through, where no one sees the spiritless skull of all these fingers reaching like snakes out to trip. Jam us like the meaner fish up onto the edge of the table cluttered with gloved and bread from dishes mostly. Whatever glass chalices survived the last sticky greed, hastily grabbing egg slices into mouths they salute hide. Now, making room and catching breath as soon the edges of things snag onto these coated shoes when you bark orders with hands. From behind the tall laminated sloping door bends, picks his way jacked and puzzle on a braided rope beneath whose streaky cracked steps climb heavily out of dim tunnels earmarked Shadowfall, which smells of cheesy shit. Take coffee tarts, but fortunately everyone eats the sweet cheese pastries there, particularly strong for sure. The fresh olive oil coffee may be only you object. Two deep drawers canted to the room's sides contain rows of leather books like the arching undersides of rocks whose dry swollen covers many cricket in desperation. Except for one copy of your book, some I know, another whole forgotten you would give. There are other titles, crooked pages don't stop flapping while you leap to cry wait. This one's safe yet. He hopes to as her knees double again before stalking a labyrinth that clucks beneath bare bolts beside slick walls and upside down stairway stands there forever waiting. Please take care. Stepping ineffectively into huge manila envelopes carrying plastic sacks containing, perhaps, more junk for sale should Sai return carefully. Universe. Endorphin, you have returned. I have just recited my favorite scenes from all of Jessica Walters' One Woman Plays. Are you ready to begin the Lara Croft screening with us? Look, it seems your models have settled themselves into the scene just fine. Where are these events supposed to happen? I feel myself dragged about my present context. The same word, maybe, of what happened here yesterday may again come into force. But nothing here has any past whatsoever anymore. These houses in Cars D rifting apart, I wouldn't notice if they disappeared altogether and then came back as phantoms. Your imagination still clutches most easily toward the limits of sanity, where rules still hold sway. Oh my God, my back. If any time shall be over today, please let this day end. To what happy realization do your events lead to? Back into tomorrow, yes. So how does your moment alter your old one so abruptly? Does no time cross into your new world, never yet touched by chaos? Does chaos ever lie within the ordinary moments of life? Universe, Endorphin, you have returned. I have just recited my favorite scenes from all of Jessica Walters' One Woman Plays. Are you ready to begin the Lara Croft screening with us? Look, it seems your moles have settled themselves into the scene just fine. Where are these events supposed to happen? I feel myself dragged about my present context. The same word, maybe, what happened here yesterday may again come into force. but nothing here has any past whatsoever anymore. These houses enclose the drifting apart. I wouldn't notice if they disappeared altogether and then came back as phantoms. Your imagination still clutches most easily toward the limits of sanity, where rule still holds sway. Oh my God, my back, if any time shall be over today, please let this day end. To what happy realization do your events lead to? Back into tomorrow, yes. So how does your moment alter your old one so abruptly? Does no time cross into your new world, never yet touched by chaos? Does chaos ever lie without? In the ordinary moments of life, endorphin. You seem to bear striking a resemblance to Miss Waters. Perhaps you are employing a mixture of extreme yoga and method acting. In any case, you look like a right cougar goddess. Come, let us press play on the VHS or the mini CD. I don't know what the dominant media here is in the sparse universe. It is a visual Victrola. The sound pierces our skull and bounces the images throughout our bones, and we feel as though the narrative rages in our gut. Endorphin. Can't wait to ingest this text then. After you flop onto bean bags and enjoy the night of quiet Wapas. You wish for the monitor's gaze to go flat. You suddenly feel exposed after years of doing other and exposing it upon which so much self-esteem. Hardly the kind of sexual maturity and being in place. He hardly said such things in anger. She didn't, he went from knowing better. Of everything worked up, although no mention of our fealty. There was a lesson then of the anatomic diagram as a helpful shortcut, or here too I can just look better to finally recognize your unmatched endocarp. You had been invited due off a flushing hot sweat down wrist. Watch with affection my cougar goddess, yourself so beautifully built, all muscle and grace, and emphasize hooded knee bum up, peppering the only tiny golden belt that reaches further inward than the most brutish back alley dominatrix imaginable.
plus at middle age, but
Universe. Choose your own adventure. Young endorphin. Endorphin. I don't swing the way you think I swing. So yes. She visited him at the hotel once. She had come to take control of the situation for herself. If anything were still alive when she got here, that thing would die in the aftermath of her anger. There wasn't much of the man left behind when it came time to claim what was his. What he thought now of the stranger who snuffed out all his hopes should have surprised him a little less, but nothing stopped the fresh sting of humiliation at having let another do these things to him. He took measures in the headlines and wondered to no avail that time what Trek's life must hold, given his death a pleasant surprise over others' advances at his peace offering. I thank you surely for any slightest kindness from which he believed himself recompensed, Judd, now and forever.
well, that's a cliffhanger. Who gets murdered? Who gets murdered by the universe? I'll figure it out, or maybe you can vote. Just shoot me a line. I don't, or just I don't know. I don't know how lines are shot here. I guess chats, but you know. Who and how and with what? Who and how and with what? Uh, I'll have Viturbate killed in the basement with the similes. Alright, I'll see you OAX2 in Action Shin, an alien conglomeration, an alien gathering. Is there an alien convention? Another TV viewer, Katina, Lana Ray, Lonado, Lana Ray, a rogue girl with a 1 instead of I. There's no I in rogue girl. Yamako. Have a fine hump of the week, DS. That was weird.